Good afternoon. My name is Vanessa.
And my name is Daisy, and the topic that we will be discussing is coping with a terminal illness. A terminal illness is a progressive disease which can reasonably be expected to cause an individual's death. Terminal illnesses include a wide range of different diseases, and individuals may have a single disease or a number of conditions at one time. There are two ways to categorize a terminal disease. Palliative care is the approach that improves quality of life of a patient and their family who are facing problems associating with life-threatening illnesses. Palliative care also prevents and relieves suffering through the early identification, correct assessment, and treatment of pain and other problems, whether physical or psychological or spiritual. Hospice care. Hospice care focuses on the care, comfort, and quality life of a person with a serious illness who is approaching end of life. Hospice care is designed for this situation. The patient beginning hospice care understands that his or her illness is not responding to medical attempts to cure it or to slow the disease's progress. Hospice also provides a person with a terminal illness whose doctor believes he or she has 6 months or less to live if the illness runs its natural course. Did you know that there is an estimate of 58.8 million people diagnosed with terminal illness? Approximately 25.7 million have been diagnosed since last year. 33.1 patients are in hospice care or end of life support. The concept of death. Everyone has their own unique idea or concept of death. For a baby, death has no real concept, but babies do react to separation from parents, painful procedures, or any change in their routine. For toddlers, death has very little meaning. They may get most anxiety from emotions of those around them. Preschool grade children may begin to understand that death is something feared by adults. School age children are developing a more realistic understanding of death. Teens, as with people of all ages, past experiences and emotional development is greatly influenced in a teen's idea of death. Most teens understand that death is permanent, universal, and inevitable. Adults see the concept of death as fear.
When diagnosed, a person may experience the 5 stages of grief as they are processing the gravity of the situation and mourning their current life. The 5 stages of grief don't always necessarily occur in the exact order and can fluctuate depending on the person. The denial stage occurs when the patient is trying to avoid the inevitable. When experiencing denial, they may think to themselves, is this real? Is this actually happening to me? They may think that it is a misdiagnosis and use this coping mechanism to avoid the intensity and reality of the situation. This stage allows patients more time to gradually absorb the news and begin to process it. In the anger stage, the patient uses this as a defense mechanism to feel in control and avoid the feeling of helplessness and grief. They may be mad that this is happening to them and think that it is unfair, and these emotions can be expressed through sudden outbursts, rage, severe sadness, or isolation. This stage is often viewed as a more socially acceptable response than fear. In the stage of bargaining, terminally ill individuals often associate it with spirituality and may think that if they become a better person, then their terminal illness will go away. They seek religion for comfort and hold on to hope as a way to feel a sense of control over their situation. They begin to make what if and if only statements. Through bargaining, the individual feels like they can avoid the outcome of death through negotiating ways to change themselves. In the depression stage, the patient has the realization that they will die and they will start to feel a loss of control and sense of hopelessness. This does not only occur due to the terminal illness, but the effects of treatment. It is in this stage where patients' mental health takes a toll on them and leads to mental health decline, which can intervene with their quality of life and quality of death. In the acceptance stage, the person begins to accept that they have a terminal illness and that they are reaching end of life. This is the ideal stage where mental health is getting better and the person can find a way to move forward. Reaching acceptance can not only improve mental health, but help the terminally ill individual have a better quality death. The mental health of a terminally ill person is often overlooked and underdiagnosed. Some signs that a person's mental health is declining are delirium, anxiety, self loathing, and depression. Individuals experience delirium, where they become unattached to reality and become withdrawn from their loved ones. They start to become more quiet and restless. Anxiety is prominent as the individual fears the future suffering when dying and not knowing what happens after death. Self loathing occurs among patients when they are getting weaker and can no longer take care of themselves. The loss of autonomy gives them dependence on others, which gives a terminally ill individual the mindset that they are a burden. Depression is characterized through feeling a loss of purpose and wanting to reach death sooner. As patients go through this journey, many overlook how it affects their mental health, which can affect their quality of dying. Dying is a normal process of the life cycle, and it is something that everyone is eventually going to experience. Through acknowledging the process of dying and having more open conversations, terminally ill individuals can break the stigma that has been created to induce fear and affect a person's mental health. Claire Winland was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis at age 7, and through her journey of having a terminal illness, she documented her life and how it was affecting her mindset and outlook.
Coping as a caregiver, caring for a terminally ill patient can be challenging. Oftentimes, caregivers experience exhaustion as well as they feel guilty for feeling happy or having any good things happening in their life. Guilt can also be manifested as they are unable to help their loved ones that are in pain.
Here is an instance where caregivers felt a sense of guilt.
Like I felt guilty to believe them because I knew that he didn't believe them.
So you're having difficulty forgiving yourself.
Yeah.
And that's a big piece of accepting loss, is forgiveness.
Yeah. And it gets to a point where like you see someone you love in so much pain, and when you're told there's no way they can possibly rebound, you think, okay, maybe passing away is the best option. So like for me to see my best friend in so much pain and the way he was living was really no way to live. Unconscious, then wakes up to throw up, then passes back out. The messed up part was that the only option was either continuing in that phase or death. There was no getting better. And because getting better wasn't an option, like you have to almost hope that they could just pass away in the most peaceful way. Mm-hmm. And that's just like I had such a hard time accepting the fact that like some part of my brain was hoping that my dad passed away.
Financial worries after losing a loved one. The death of someone close to you can have devastating effects on several areas of your life. Not only does it affect you emotionally, it can take a real toll on your well-being, your plans for the future, and your finances. Financial struggles that people may face are managing day-to-day living costs as well as mental health, and this leads to losing your job. One way we could show support or receive help is by contacting the California Hope Hotline, which helps financially and it also provides therapy. How to help a loved one. Simply be there for them. Spend some time doing activities you and your loved one enjoy, even if it's just holding hands. You can watch your favorite shows and listen to music you both enjoy and swap memories, watch funny movies, and find ways to laugh together. A terminal illness can be very isolating for your loved one and their primary caregivers. Be gentle on yourself while caring for your loved one. This is a difficult time for you as well as for them. Create a wish list. Make their last wishes come true. What would your loved one like to accomplish in the time they have left? Is there a place they would like to visit? Is there a special occasion coming up? Is there someone they would like to see or speak to? Try to do as many things as possible. If your terminally ill loved one can't travel to the places they would like to visit, bring the places to them through photos and movies. Set up a video chat with the loved ones who live far away or live stream of special events so they can be part of it. Get affairs in order. Some people plan for their final days well in advance, but others may not.